Welcome, everybody. We will begin with the candle lighting ceremony.
This light has a history that began with a pioneering English nurse named Florence Nightingale. She often carried a lighted lamp as she moved among the sick and injured to care for them. Since then, the lighted lamp has become a symbol of the care and devotion the nurse administers to individuals in the practice of nursing.
The nursing graduates have followed the light to today's pinning ceremony. It marks our transition from layperson to nurse and from student to professional. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to introduce the special guests and faculty that are here today. Mrs. Paula Lampton, trustee, Mr. John Williamson, chairman, Dr. Heike Coley-Serto, vice president of finance, Dr. James Klauber, president of HCC, Dr. David Warner, Vice President of Academic Affairs and Student Support Services. Dr. Robin Hill, Coordinator of Practical Nursing and Assistant Professor. Ms. Karen Hammond, Director of Nursing. The following full-time faculty teaches in the RN program. Ms. Sonia Akers, Assistant Professor. Mrs. Michelle Blash, Assistant Professor. Ms. Dawn Druger, Adjunct Professor. Mrs. Melissa Hudson, Assistant Professor. Ms. Lori Manila, Assistant Professor. Ms. Dawn Nally, Assistant Professor. Ms. Teresa Whedon, Assistant Professor, and Mrs. Gina Urich, Assistant Professor. At this time, I would like to call Caitlin Montgomery to the podium to give the history of the pinning ceremony.
To Dr. Klauber, Dr. Warner, the Board of Trustees, faculty, family, friends, and graduates. As a member of the spring graduating class of Hagerstown Community College, it is my great honor and privilege to welcome you to the pinning ceremony of the RN and PN nursing classes of December 2020 and May 2021. The nursing pin and the pinning ceremony have a rich historical tradition. The earliest badges presented were to those members of the Knights of the Order of the Hospital of St. John the Baptist who tended to the ill and wounded crusaders in the 12th century. The tradition of the nursing pin and the ceremonial pinning we know today actually originated in the 1860s at the Nightingale School of Nursing at St. Thomas Hospital in London. Having been recently awarded the Red Cross of St. George for her selfless service to the injured and dying in the Crimean War, Florence chose to extend this honor to her most outstanding graduate nurses by presenting each of them with a Medal for Excellence. The first pin in the United States was presented to the graduating class of 1880 at Bellevue Hospital of Nursing in New York City. The pin presented to the graduates was both beautiful and symbolic. By 1916, the practice of pinning new nurses was common in schools throughout the United Kingdom and North America. Today, many nursing schools view the pinning ceremony as an outdated ritual. Some schools have already abandoned the pinning ceremony, and many others are considering doing so. The faculty of Hagerstown Community College continues to view the pinning ceremony as an important rite of passage into the profession of nursing. The nursing classes of 2020 and 2021 view this ceremony as a symbolic of our commitment to the traditions and values of the nursing profession. Our class also views this day with great joy and great relief, as we can proudly say, we survived nursing school. Again, I would like to welcome all of you to today's ceremony. At this time, the graduates will stand to recite the Nightingale Pledge. After the pledge, Dr. Klauber, president of HCC, will be giving a charge to the new graduates.
I solemnly pledge myself before God
Well, nurses, congratulations. You have successfully navigated what I believe to be one of the hardest academic programs that a community college can offer. And I hope that you will not allow your learning to stop here. I know many of you have already taken the NCLEX and are already out there in practice. I know some of you have yet to take it. How many of you, I'd like to ask for a show of hands right quick, how many of you yet have to take the NCLEX yet? Please raise it. All right, promise me one thing, that you will go and take it as soon as possible, because statistically you're more likely to pass on the first time or more quickly you take it. Not that I have any doubts, because you've been prepared by one of the best nursing programs, not only in Maryland, but in the country. I do want to mention a little humorous story. I like to share this at nursing pinnings every once in a while of just how hard the nursing program is. Years ago, I was a college vice president down in South Carolina, and I was walking across the parking lot at the college where I worked, and over on to the side, and they were speaking so loudly you couldn't help to hear. I wasn't eavesdropping on them, but you couldn't help it. But there was these two ladies sitting on a park bench. One was just crying inexorably, I mean, weeping and weeping and weeping. The other one was trying to console her, and they were talking, and then all of a sudden, I heard the one who was consoling her friend say to her, "Girl, you in the nursing program. You got no time for a man." And I think that goes straight to, and you know how much work is involved in the nursing program. It is a sacrifice. It is a sacrifice for you. It is a sacrifice for your family and friends who sit in the back of the auditorium today. But you made it. And that sacrifice is well worth it, because you're going to go out into the world and you're going to not only save lives, but you're going to change lives. And that makes it all the worthwhile. I want to close with you with a little poem that the president who hired me into higher education used to read about every graduation. It was his favorite. It has become my favorite, and I think it speaks a lot to each of you. It's by a man named R.L. Sharp, and it's called A Bag of Tools. Isn't it strange that princes and kings and clowns that caper in sawdust rings and common people like you and me are the builders for eternity? Each of us is given a bag of tools, a shapeless mass, a book of rules, and each of us must make, ere life is flown, a stumbling block or a stepping stone. I hope that each of you will take what you've learned here and go out into your lives, and that you will create a stepping stone for all of those who are to follow. Congratulations, and I hope maybe I don't see you at the hospital. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am going to be presenting some awards. I would like to address Dr. Klauber, Dr. Warner, board members, fellow faculty, and the students of the class of December 2020 and May 2021. I am proud to present the practical nursing graduates of the class of 21. There are 31 of them, and they have persevered through online instruction, the pandemic, changes in clinical assignments at the last moment, and they have gone through family situations, and they have made it to this point. This is the largest practical nursing class that Hagerstown Community College has graduated since its inception in 2004. Some of our LPN students have already taken boards, and I would like for the following two students to stand where they are. Tiffany Nicole Grimes, LPN, and Rebecca Lauren Yates, LPN. I also would like to present the awards for the practical nursing program. There are 3 awards that are given out every year for the practical nursing graduates. The first one is an award for personal and professional growth. This award is given by the HCC nursing faculty to recognize the student who has demonstrated significant personal growth and maturity in the nursing program. A plaque with the recipient's name will be located in the Career Programs building, and I also have an award up here. So will Joshua James please step forward? The next award is the Spirit of Long-Term Care Award. This award is given by the nursing faculty to a graduating practical nursing student who has demonstrated strong academic performance, as well as an interest in the clinical expertise and care of geriatric clients. Would Rebecca Lauren Yates please step forward? And the final award is the Excellence in Practical Nursing Award. The HCC Practical Nursing faculty selects and gives this award to the student who exhibits the following criteria: enrolled for a minimum of 12 credits during the academic semester, a minimum GPA of 3.2 overall academic average, the student's attitude and professionalism to include exemplary professional behavior. Would Erica Kearns please step forward? Thank you.
Good afternoon. I just want to preface this by saying, excuse the tears that will roll down my face when I finish this speech. The year 2020, for many of us, was a life shock we could have never prepared for. The world was put in a position that truly could not be understood, and many of us were stuck trying to navigate something we never imagined could become a reality. COVID-19 threw us into a battle that required us to come together, closer than ever as humans, as helpers. We needed to help our family, friends, acquaintances, strangers, ourselves to be able to overcome this battle. Although this battle is still in continuation, we have taken pivotal steps in overcoming huge obstacles that were previously in our path. We were able to adapt and learn new ways of life so that we could thrive again, so that we could live again. Essential workers allowed that to happen. Healthcare workers allowed that to happen. Doctors, therapists, EMTs, paramedics, phlebotomists, pharmacists, and us, nurses. We are looked at as heroes, but truthfully, we are just humans. Humans moving through this journey of life, pushing all forms of positivity upon each other. Every single person in this class has done what many people could never believe. We graduated during a pandemic, and my kids will never hear the end of it. This has been a tough journey for all of us. To succeed while having to adapt to a new way of learning is no easy feat, but we all accomplished it, and I could not be any prouder. All thanks must go to Karen Hammond, our nursing director, Janice McLaughlin, our nursing secretary, Matt and Brian, our nursing support staff, and all teachers and clinical instructors who played a part in our success. An important and special thanks must go to Dr. Robin Hill, our nursing instructor, advisor, helper, and friend. Thank you for guiding us through this tough journey and giving us the tools to become the great nurses we strive to be. And to the class of 2021, let us go out into the world and truly make a difference as humans, as heroes, and as nurses. Congratulations and thank you.
Okay, I'm going to give awards out to two different groups since the fall 2020 RN class is now finally getting recognized. And also I have awards for the spring 2021 RN program. So I'll start out with the fall class. Some of them have already gotten their awards. They came in and picked them up. Others haven't. So if I call your name and you're here, come on up and get your award. As Robin said, each year we select several graduating nursing students as a recipient for nursing awards. And I would like to recognize these students at this time. The first award is for personal and professional growth. This award is given to an RN student who has been chosen by the HCC nursing faculty. This award recognizes the nursing student who has demonstrated significant professional growth and maturity as they progressed along in the nursing program. A plaque with the recipient's name will be located in the Career Programs building. This year's award goes to Nathaniel Hunter, and he isn't here, but we'll applaud him anyway. The next award is given by the Nurses Alumni Association of Washington County Hospital School of Nursing, and it is given to an RN student. This award goes to the student who has the highest grade point average in the RN program and will graduate with high honors. This year's award goes to Samantha Hewitt, and she already got her award at Stan. The third award is the HCC Spirit of Nursing Award. This award recipient has also been chosen by the HCC nursing faculty. This award recognizes a nursing student who, despite personal difficulties, persevered, demonstrating clinical confidence, good leadership skills, and maintained a positive attitude. This year's award has been presented to Brielle Wenders. Did you get it? Come on up. The next awards are for the May 2021 RN graduates. I don't think they know who they are, but maybe they do. The Career Program Award of Excellence is given to the graduating RN student who is enrolled in a minimum of 12 credits during the academic year and has had a GPA of 3.2 and has also been involved in extracurricular activities. This selection is made by the HCC nursing faculty, and this year's award went to Beth Maturi. I'm not sure she's here. The next award is the Personal and Professional Growth Award. This award is given to the RN student, again, who's been chosen by the nursing faculty. This award recognizes the nursing student who has demonstrated significant professional growth and maturity as they've progressed along in the nursing program. Again, a plaque with the recipient's name will be located in the Career Programs building. This year's award goes to Allison Wigfield. The next award given by the Nurses Alumni Association at Washington County Hospital School of Nursing is given to an RN student. This award goes to the student who has the highest grade point average in the RN program and will graduate with high honors. This year's award goes to Caitlin Glazier. I don't think she's here. The last award is the HCC Spirit of Nursing Award. This award recipient has also been chosen by the HCC nursing faculty. This award recognizes the nursing student who, despite personal difficulties, persevered, demonstrating clinical competence and good leadership skills, and has also maintained a positive attitude. This year's award has been presented to Jamie C. Poffenberger. These students did not know, the 2021 class, I don't think, knew who was getting their awards. Correct? You didn't know? Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm very delighted to be here today and to have the ceremony for our December 2020 graduates and our current 2021 graduates. This is one of my favorite experiences of my whole job, and everything has really changed since COVID has come along. We managed to have the May 2020 class late in October, and we had it outside in the amphitheater, and then like today, it was very nice weather, and it worked out. So we tried to overcome that obstacle. And then today, we are welcoming and graduating, about 85 are here, but there's over 100 actually graduating, and so nobody's more delighted than me. And I really feel bad for the December 2020 graduates. You weren't able to have their pinning in May like the rest of the classes, in December like the rest of the classes, and I feel bad about that. I want to give a special recognition to Samantha Hewitt and Peggy Hudson, who at 9:30, 10 o'clock last night worked on trying to get together a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation for their class, and I think they deserve a round of applause. So I'd like to offer a warm congratulations to each and every one of you. As Dr. Klauber said, this is probably one of the most rigorous programs that we have here at the college, and you all have made it, and here you are ready to get your pins and graduate. Our profession demands that not only do you take care of your patients, but you also have to take care of your family members as well. And you made a good decision when you decided to become a nurse. It takes a very special person to become a nurse and to take care of patients, especially in this COVID environment. The graduates are jumping in, and those of you in the 2020 December class are very aware that the whole environment for nurses has drastically changed with the COVID experience. Everybody thinks it's very special to be a nurse, and for the 19th year in a row, the Gallup poll released December 2020 that nurses, again, ranked #1 as the most trusted profession, and this is for 19 years in a row. And that includes a variety of other professions, including medical doctors, police officers, and other professions. I'd also like to recognize our nursing faculty in preparing each of you to become an RN or an LPN. They spent a lot of time preparing you and to make sure that you're going to be the outstanding professionals that really represent our HCC nursing program. I would also like to take a minute to congratulate Dr. Robin Hill, who recently received her doctorate in nursing practice. I'm sure each of you would agree that the nursing faculty have been supportive to you as you've progressed along in the nursing profession. Our nursing is a highly respected profession, like I said, and they must continue to evolve in order to meet this health care changes that have come along. Patricia Benner said nurses today have new responsibilities. Your journey as novice nurse to expert will be one of continuous improvement and lifelong learning. And some of you have already started on this journey. William Osler once said, "The trained nurse has become one of the greatest blessings of humanity, taking a place beside the physician and the priest." You are now a member of a profession. Again, some of you are already out working as nurses. Find your voice. Be a change agent at the bedside. Don't lose the passion that you've had for the last 2 years of your learning. Don't settle for being comfortable either. I will leave you with the words of Mother Teresa. "I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the water to create many ripples." Work to have the tools, like Dr. Klauber says, so that you will be able to cast that stone and create many ripples. You've been 3 great classes. Congratulations, and nobody's happier about it than me. Thank you.
I too will apologize if I break down at any time. Nursing has been a passion of mine. I've worked at the hospital for a long time, since 1990, and I knew that I had to finish my career as a nurse. So I'm very passionate about that, and I'm passionate about each of these students that are sitting here today that have been on this journey with me. Good afternoon, fellow nursing students, friends, family, and faculty members. I want to thank each of you for being here today to share in this incredible accomplishment with us. I want to thank the faculty for letting me stand before you to represent the spring class of 2021 and to share some highlights of our journey, to include highs and lows, and to introduce you to the people who have inspired, encouraged, and mentored us over the last 2 years. I want to start with an inspirational quote that says, "Good things come to those who believe, better things come to those who are patient, and the best things come to those who do not give up." We all have things that we enjoy doing in our spare time, and one of the things that I like to do is to go to the beach. I love that feeling of the hot sand between my toes as I walk in the sand, set up my chair and umbrella, and settle down for a day in the sun, watching people interact with one another. I know that everyone has a story, and it piques my curiosity to know what theirs is. Sometimes I strike up a conversation with the people sitting next to me, and other times I just sit, watch, and listen. You can learn a lot about a person when you watch their actions, listen to their words, and see how they interact and react to those around them. I love to watch families come together to build a sandcastle. They start by bringing good tools. Next, there is the task of assigning certain jobs, such as someone to carve the castle, another to dig the moat, someone to fetch the water, and someone to collect seashells and other items that are found on the beach to decorate the castle. To complete the task set at hand, the participants must first believe, be patient, and don't give up. It takes a team to build an amazing sandcastle, one that you can stand back when you are finished and say, "We did it." Nursing school is very familiar to the scenario that I just shared with you about people, who they are, what they say, and how they interact with one another. We have learned that when you work as a team, the outcome for the patient is for the greater good. For the next several minutes, I want to take a little trip down memory lane For those of you who have not experienced going to nursing school personally, but may have heard our scattered stories along the way, and reflect on some of the things we have endured that brought us here. There is not one student sitting here waiting to receive their diploma and their nursing pin that has made it through this journey alone. How many of you students remember the first day of fundamentals with Sonia and Michelle? I remember that day. It was August 26, 2019. They asked us to introduce ourselves to the class, and I remember saying my name and stating that I was probably the oldest one in the room. It was true. They also told us to look around the room, and in 2 years there will only be about half of us left. We all sat there frightened, thinking, are they serious? They proceeded to tell us about the journey ahead of us, to include ATI modules and proctored exams, drug calculation tests, on top of regular exams, and encouraged us to find a study buddy and or try to find a study group if we didn't already have one. Then our first exam came. I had a personal flashback to classes we took prior to nursing school and remembered Professor Beidle's anatomy and physiology tests, where we had select all that apply questions, and realized how she was trying to prepare us for this moment. She taught us many things like glomerular filtration, blood flow through the heart, all the bones and muscles in the body, and the 12 cranial nerves, to name a few. I remember her saying to us, I have nursing professors that tell me that their students can't remember the 12 cranial nerves. And we're all sitting there thinking, really? How can you forget the acronyms that we had practiced so many times to remember all 12 cranial nerves that say, oh, 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 to touch and feel, very good, very ah. And then the saying to remember if they were sensory or motor nerves that says, some say marry money, but my brother says big brains matter more. And the select all that apply questions, we all struggled with them. There may have been one correct answer, there could have been more, and sometimes it was all of them. I know we've sat and stared at exams, narrowed it down to 2 answers, and then it was at that point a 50-50 chance and a please God, let me pick the right one. We managed to get through the drug calculation exam that I know many of us had sleepless nights before we took them, through clinicals and what we all thought were mounds of paperwork we had to turn into our clinical instructors every week that include nursing care plans, databases, and prep cards, as well as all of the lab checkoffs and cultural community projects, and then the big physical assessment paper that we had to complete, on top of the 4 exams that you had to have a 75% average combined. We lost a few students after fundamentals, and reality set in that Sonia and Michelle were right. The numbers were already starting to drop off. So I want to thank each of you both for teaching us the importance of building a good foundation for our nursing upon which we would use to continue to build the sandcastle, so to speak, as we journeyed through each class. And we would continue to build on that foundation to the end. We made it through fundamentals. In the spring of 2020, we were divided into 2 groups. Half of us were in Med-Surg 1 with Miss Dawn, and the other half of the group were in Peds with Miss Teresa. Miss Dawn greeted us on our first day of class with a hello, which sounded like Mrs. Doubtfire, and we knew that we were in for 7.5 weeks of fun learning about cardiac, endocrine, and the respiratory system. Miss Dawn, we thank you for instilling in our brains when assessing the respiratory system on a female that you gotta lift those puppies up, people, to listen to the lungs. She also told us over and over again, and it's the simple things, people. Don't get so busy with administering medications and completing the physician's orders that you forget the simple things that will make a difference in the care that your patient receives, like a simple back rub, taking a minute to hold someone's hand, or just sit quietly beside them when they've received some bad news in regard to their diagnosis. Remember, the patient will not always remember what you did for them, but they will remember what you didn't do. We also learned about neuro with Miss Karen, who loves to get back in the classroom and be a part of our journey. Yep, we had to revert back to A&P and remember those cranial nerves once again. And at this point, with our brains already in overload, we had to remember things like, is it decerebrate or decorticate posturing that our patient was exhibiting, and the cervical spine, where C3, 4, and 5 keep you alive. On top of lectures and learning, we had our home safety project to complete, movie reviews, clinical, and more paperwork to turn in, labs and exams. Through dedication and determination, those of us sitting here today made it through another class, and some of our friends would not be able to join us on our journey as we proceeded ahead for the second 7.5 weeks of that semester. Then we had a hiccup. COVID hit. We were scared to death to think about what was about to happen to us and if our graduation date would be postponed. But the faculty and staff rallied together and came up with a plan to keep us in school. The plan was called online pre-recorded lecturing. It was at this point that we switched to the opposite class for that semester, and we managed to get through Peds and Med-Surg from a distance and only got to learn who Sharon and Dawn were from their online lectures. My group was with Miss Sharon, who taught us all about pediatrics from newborns and their growth stages through the teenage years. We learned about Erickson's stages of development and Piaget's cognitive development. Our clinicals were canceled as well as labs due to COVID, but we made up for that by doing case studies to help enhance our learning of the diseases and their processes that some children are diagnosed with. We made it through another course, and yes, once again, some of our fellow classmates didn't make it. The struggle was very real for us, as you can see. Summer rolled around, and we were scheduled to take pharmacology, and the college would not be open. Once again, we were nervous about not being able to move forward, but the faculty came up with a new plan. It was called Zoom. What the heck was Zoom? Over the past year, it has become a common word since we have been forced to social distance, and some places do not allow for large groups to gather. But at the time, we were thinking, great, how is this going to pan out? Miss Robin opened our eyes to a whole new world of prefixes and suffixes like the prils and statins, sulfas and zosins, to name a few, to help us remember the classifications of the many medications that we would need to know. Pharmacology was our life for the summer of 2020. I spent countless hours on my deck in the sun with flashcards and my pharmacology book in hand when all I wanted to do was be in a pool or at a beach when I wasn't at work. So thank you, Miss Robin, for your dedication to helping us try to come up with a way to remember the thousands of medications that are on the market today. We could not have done it without you. Fall of 2020, we started the semester split up once again to learn about psych and OB. We met Miss Lori, who taught us about psychology and who we will be forever grateful to for helping us to learn how to not only diagnose ourselves, but our family and friends. If we didn't think we were crazy up until this point, we soon found out that we really were. We were able to attend lab wearing surgical masks and face shields when in our groups, but continued our classroom sessions via Zoom. She has forever instilled in our minds that T is for team. Every lab was ended with Miss Lori saying, "Go team!" I have said this before and I'll say it again, there's a special place in heaven for psych nurses, but it's not the calling for everyone. However, I think we all feel that our Brookline experience was a positive one and sincerely changed the way of thinking about psychiatric nursing for some of us and confirmed that this was the path we wanted to choose for our nursing career. The second 7.5 weeks, the LPNs who were pursuing their RN degree joined us as we met Miss Melissa, who taught us about the miracle of life and all of its wonders, from conception to birth, and then rubbing the fundus to prevent hemorrhaging after childbirth. Seeing a baby born was what confirmed for some of us that this was our true calling. Spring semester of 2021, we could see the end in sight. It was so close, but still so far away. We were brought back together as a group as we started Med-Surg 2 with Miss Lori again and continued to build off of the fundamentals that we had learned what seemed to be so long ago from Sonia and Michelle. We also had to take leadership at the same time with Gina, who taught us how to manage through situational crisis with coworkers, when to tell your charge nurse that something was seriously wrong on the unit, and what to do when a disaster strikes. And then, with no spring break, Miss Gina kept us on our toes as we plunged into Med-Surg 3 the day after finishing Med-Surg 2. We were ready to learn the critical care part of nursing. I like to think of this as the finishing touches to the sandcastle that we started way back in fundamentals. We learned how to critically think about what was wrong with the patient and how we were going to fix it by looking at arterial blood gases and deciding if it was acidosis or alkalosis, metabolic or respiratory, compensated or uncompensated. We had to remember critical lab values and decide if our patient was having a heart attack or was it a pulmonary embolism putting them at risk for stroke, or was their burn superficial or a deep tissue burn. I want to add a big thank you to Miss Gina for working fervently to get us all placed in facilities for our capstone. We have a big class, and trying to get us all placed was a big task for her as she ran into obstacles as some facilities were not letting students in for capstone and clinicals due to COVID. We will always remember the mannequins in the lab that we learned to place NG tubes and urinary catheters in, to the one who gave birth, and the one who screamed out in pain when having a heart attack, and how through the sim labs, these talking mannequins taught us how important teamwork is. I know we all dreaded the sim labs and were scared to death that we would be put in the spotlight in fear of failure in front of our peers. I know we will all remember our last lab with Gina in Med-Surg 3 that was the mega code. We all had to critically think as if the mega code was the ocean and the sandcastle was the patient, where we all had to react quickly and as a team to preserve and save what we had worked so hard for and to prevent the worst possible outcome. But in reality, one day we will look back on all those sim labs and realize their importance and how they were there to prepare us for situations that we will be faced with. We all have a story about our journey that we have endured the last 2 years. Some of us have lost our study buddy along the way, had a family crisis that we thought that we would never get through, have lost family members to COVID, or have lost pets who are near and dear to our hearts. The sad part is that we had to get over what happened to us quickly and continue on because nursing school took dedication and commitment, even when faced with despair. Miss Lori has said so many times that that's what nurses do. You adjust to the changes. And we have had to say no to many family outings and getting together with friends because we had to study. I know we are all looking forward to our lives returning to some sense of normalcy. I am proud to stand here and say that this group has definitely learned the true meaning of teamwork and dedication. To each of my classmates, I want to speak directly to you now. The first letter in teamwork is the letter T that is formed by two lines that are connected together. It not only represents the first letter in the word teamwork, but it also resembles a crossroad where one must choose to go to the right or the left. No matter which field of nursing you choose, the foundations we learned so long ago have never changed. You are sitting here today because you made a decision to dedicate your life to others. It is our job as nurses to care for and nurture those who are assigned to your care, even when it hurts, when it's awkward, when it's weird, and when it's embarrassing. Those are the times that we will shine. Let your patients know by the words that you speak and how you interact with them that it does not matter what has happened to you, we will take care of you. You will have long 12-hour days, and some days when you leave work, you will say, why did I decide to become a nurse? And then there will be times when a patient that you took care of or one of their family members will see you out in public or even again in the hospital, grab your hand and say thank you for the excellent care that you gave to us. At that moment, you will remember your promise that you made today to dedicating your life to those in need. As nurses, we should encourage, help, teach, love, and empower one another. Now pass that NCLEX exam and go do what you were born to do. On behalf of the students sitting before you today, we say thank you to the faculty and staff here at the college, people in the testing center, the tutors at the learning center, Matt and Brian in the lab, Miss Jan in the office, keeping us all up to date with our Castle Branch accounts to include all the vaccinations, CPR renewals that we had to keep up to date, making sure we were registered for the 4-day class of ATI review, graduation, and making sure we had all the information we needed to register for the NCLEX exam. Also, the clinical instructors who co-signed our documentations and watched over us while at Meredith and Brook Lane, and to the friends and family who were there for us when we failed an exam and were scared to death that we wouldn't make it. We would not be here today if it were not for each of you and the role that you played in our completion of this course. You were all included, and the teamwork it took for us to sit here before you today and say, we did it.
Thank you, Joette, for those inspiring words. Let us certify the accomplishments of our soon-to-be graduates and formally recognize each of them by name. President Klauber, members of the Board of Trustees, distinguished guests, family members, and friends. On behalf of the faculty and administration of Hagerstown Community College, I have the distinct honor and personal pleasure to certify the Fall 2020 RN and Spring 2021 RN and PN graduation classes as having successfully completed the associate degree and college certificate requirements set forth by the State of Maryland and Hagerstown Community College. The students presented today, through their academic accomplishments, qualify to be among this graduation class. I so certify. We will now recognize each graduate by name.
Good afternoon. I'll first read the name of the Fall 2020 Associate Degree Nursing Program graduates. Leanne M. Booth, Victoria J. Bruland, RN, sorry, I forgot, they're both RNs. Oh, that's the most important part. They have already passed their NCLEX exam. Next is Emmy L. Bergen, RN. Autumn M. Connor, RN. Morgan M. Fraser, RN. Kelly Gonzalez, RN. Samantha Hewitt, RN. Madeline J. Jernigan, RN. Cheska Lucial Knabel. Elena G. Pettijohn, RN. Madeline R. Rowland, RN. Haley S. Seifers, RN. No, sorry. How about Brittany J. Upton, RN? Brielle A. Winders, RN. Charlie Yamba. Next, I'll read the list of Spring 2021 Associate Degree Nursing Program graduates. Madeline, oh, I'm sorry, Marion's here. Marion N. Asang. Sorry, Marion. Madeline C. Beaulieu, Andrew L. Blackwell, Corey T. Bouchel, Hannah M. Bruner, Kylie M. Christiana, Joette E. Clever, Julia R. Cowan, Lisa A. Kushwa, Jessica J. Dalbert, Rebecca A. Deemers, Jasmine E. Fox, Courtney L. Helfrich, Nicole M. Judd, Lena R. Keegan, Heather L. Kessner, Kaylee M. Laughlin, Madeline G. Martin-Nace, Morgan A. McGowan, Caitlin D. Montgomery, Beth K. Muturi, Brooke E. Ned, Vic Marie Nico Lopez, Blake A. Peterson, Jamie C. Poffenberger, Bridget M. Ritchie, Tessa Romig, Courtney L. Rourke, Jennifer L. Seeker, Alexa A. Sensenball, Veronica F. Shetler, Elizabeth K. Swindells, Alexis C. Van Syock, Allison N. Wigfield, Now we'll start with the Spring 2021 Practical Nursing Certificate Program graduates. Amanda R. Abbott, Cleofe A. Aguia, Angel C. Baxter, Maggie N. Brown, Crystal Cardenas, Alexis N. David, Samantha K. Dell, Jordan N. Dodson, Brittany D. Fitzgerald, Amber D. Gardner, Jordan E. Garwood, Abdulaziz A. Giwa, Ann C. Graff, Tiffany N. Grimes, LPN, Natasha C. Hornbarger, Valerie M. Eisminger, Arnalda G. James, Joshua E. James, yeah. Erica A. Kearns, Temperance N. Orozco, Alexia S. Poffenberger, Jessica A. Sensenball, Rachel E. Shank, Meredith R. Smith, Taylor M. Sparkman, Amanda E. Stemfoski-Garan. Danielle L. Serber. Vin Marie Joy Valesa. Ashley C. Varner. Lisa M. Welty. Rebecca L. Yates, LPN.
Graduates, will you please rise? By the power vested in me by the state of Maryland and the Board of Trustees of Hagerstown Community College, I hereby pronounce you as graduates of your program. Please move your tassels from your right to your left, and congratulations, everyone. You have earned it.
Congratulations, everybody. Like I said, nobody's more happy about your success than me. You can sit down, and now we're going to have presentations. We're going to have three. First presentation is from the December 2020 class. Followed by the May 2021 class, RN class, and followed by the May 2021 PN class. So we will now look at the screens and see what has happened to these individuals in the last 2 years.
Now, as we close one door, other doors are being opened. On behalf of all of the graduates, we again want to thank all of you who have come to celebrate this moment with us. Graduates, we have accomplished great things, and through perseverance, we have successfully reached our goal of becoming nurses. We would also like to thank each of our professors for their hard work and dedication, for seeing our individual strengths and weaknesses and helping us reach our greatest potential. In addition, we would like to thank each and every family member and other support persons for your patience, assistance, and just being there for us. You have helped us study, dried our tears, and were always there to support us. This day would not be possible without you. As we start out our nursing careers, never forget the principles we were taught by our professors. Let's remember to treat our patients with the care and respect that we would like to receive. Finally, remember the 5 C's of nursing. Be calm, compassionate, confident, consistent, and courageous. Again, thank you for coming. Please stay seated for the recessional.